I really tried to love this game, man. I did. Um, there's not many God of War games I don't like. This being the only one. Um, God of War Ascension is probably the worst one in the original series, but there's still. I mean, I can go back and play that game at any time. Ragnarok is probably the biggest disappointing game release of this year, other than Gotham Knights. God of War 2018, I thoroughly like the first time I played it, I really enjoyed it, and then I played it again, and it was pretty decent. I liked the creature design, I liked the mythology, Norse mythology, and I liked the relationship between Kratos and Atreus. But I did not think they were going to fuck up Kratos' character as bad as they did in Ragnarok. Like the old games, you didn't take shit from anyone. You would fuck anyone up. And it makes sense that he gets older, he gets wiser, he tries to avoid war, he's trying to be more peaceful. That all makes sense. But when it comes down to the actual fights and the cutscenes, they just like when he's being attacked and mocked, they just make him look like a big pussy, and it's so annoying because you know how Kratos is, and like I said, yeah, he grew older, but he still has rage in him, and he displays that a lot in the dialogue, which is another thing I didn't like about this game. The dialogue was not good to me compared to God of War 2018. I just love the old series so much. It's like one of my favorite game trilogies of all time. It's just God of War 1, 2, and 3 alone are good. All the side games are good. But 2018, I would give that game like an 8 out of 10. The story had really good pacing. It could have done better with the boss fights. I missed being Kratos and like climbing up on a giant and cutting his eyeballs out. You always do some crazy cinematic thing. And in the new God of War, not just Ragnarok, in 2018 as well, you're just put into a battle arena and you can spam whatever move you want. The old God of War games gave you an incentive to use like a different attack. Like some enemies may be weaker to this attack, or they can block that attack. Use that one. And the old ones did that so good, where every single weapon you had here had use to it. And the new ones, you can literally just be cheap and use your axe. I mean, if you want, you can use your blades. It might be harder, but like, what's the point? You know, you can kill them easier with your axe. The older games just had so much more variety, and God of War 2018 was good, and I liked the ending, but it let like there was so much to build up to in this game, and I knew that. I knew there was going to be a lot of build up, but the build up is not interesting whatsoever. You're just walking half the time. The fights are boring because the settings you're in are boring. It doesn't look as the graphics are good. Like the game looks beautiful. I didn't have any glitches whatsoever. But 2018 God of War had so much better like environments, and it made more fun even though you're just fighting in a battle arena. That's why the old games you could climb on walls and hit people when you're on walls, and everything here is like auto generated. It just gets really boring. Atreus is more annoying than ever. You think he was annoying in the first game. This is even worse. And like I said, they kind of fuck up Kratos and they fuck up the pacing of the story, which is a huge deal because it's a long game and there's so much build up. And when you get to the end, like they're building up Ragnarok and blah blah blah, the end of the world, and just nothing. Like you fight Odin, you fight Thor, but when you fight Odin, it's just whatever. And spoilers if you haven't finished the game, but Brock ends up dying at the end, and then the game kind of just ends. I guess, if there's no cliffhanger for a third one, but like all the build up and it just amounted to kind of nothing in my eyes. And I don't want to sit here and shit on the game. You guys liked it. I am happy, but like coming from a big God of War fan, I was expecting a lot, and I was just really let down. And especially when Thor and Odin are barely even in the story. There's so many side characters. There's a bunch of side stories going on that feel like side quests, but they're not. They're like the main story. And it just, all the build up just feels like filler. There's no like actual stakes. No one dies other than Brock. It's just dumb. Some of the combat is fun. Using the blades and the axe is fun, but that just like leads me into talking about the upgrade system. It's just ridiculously complicated, and when you do figure it out, like there's no point even upgrading your stuff sometimes because it doesn't even feel like it makes a difference. It's really weird. And they make it so complicated. There's so many things to upgrade. I just like the old version. There you get like 5 upgrades because you can't remember every single one because you can use them whenever you want. Gameplay wise, I mean, there was the best part of the game, just killing things, whatever. But the story, I was looking like so forward to the story, and it just was a big letdown. I didn't like the depiction of Thor. I didn't like the way he talked. Like, they didn't feel like they were talking in that time period. It's really off and weird. Kratos is like the only redeemable character here, and you play as Atreus for like half the game. Once you think shit's getting good, shit's getting better with Kratos. You think his lines are getting more intense. Something badass is gonna happen with Kratos. And then it just goes to Atreus. It's like, come the fuck on. It does it like 3 times. All in all, I give this game like a 5 out of 10. I'm never gonna play it again. I have no urge to do the side missions. I'm just really bummed out that I didn't enjoy this game. And I enjoyed every God of War game, even 2018. Just because the pacing, the story was so much better. I don't know how you make Thor and Odin in Ragnarok barely be in it. I don't get it. They should have been in the story a lot more. I get they wanted to build up to them, but it took way too long to get there. And by that time, my interest was just completely gone. So that's the review for God of War Ragnarok. Tomorrow I'll be dropping a review for the new Knives Out movie. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a good day.